film.
We have such sights to show you.
Welcome back to the TDMMVI, a horror podcast. I'm Jesse Spitzer.
And I'm J.R. Lees.
And I am beyond excited to finally be talking about this show. I've been chomping at the bit and, champing at the bit. I learned it's champing at the bit, not chomping at the bit. Anyways, irrelevant.
You were doing some chopping right now.
Yeah, champing. I guess it's a reference to horses. Anyways, welcome to Derry.
Welcome to Horse Talk with Jesse and Jason.
Yeah, so this show is fantastic. We are definitely going to be spoiling the hell out of it. So if you have not watched it yet, definitely go check it out first, because it is so worth going in blind. I went in blind somehow, even though I started it like a month after it finished airing. I didn't know much at all. So, yeah. So that's the spoiler warning. Just blanket spoilers. We're gonna be talking about everything.
Don't start this episode without watching it, because we were kind of tiptoeing around it in the chapters 1 and 2, but this is the one where it's 8 hours of a show, and to not spoil. And the first episode itself is like such a beautiful dare to be spoiled. So yeah, this is a spoiler-filled episode.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about. We just don't have really time to be careful. So, but yeah, you watched this while it aired. And I'm curious.
I had meant my wife and I try and save it up, because we noticed that, like, The Walking Dead, we would watch 4 in a row, 8 in a row, on that show. And then we did, and we loved it. But we did one by one. It would kill the show, because like one episode can suck. And if you wait a week, you get that bad taste in your mouth. If you watch 3 or 4, even if it was one bad egg, one bad apple, then the other ones kind of raise up a little bit. So we usually binge these shows when it's a week to week kind of thing. It tends to, like, we want a bigger bite of it. So we had intended to save it up and then hit them all in a big row. And we watched the first one because it was like on Halloween, I think. So we'll watch one. Okay. Next week, well, we should save up. So I think we watched weeks 2 and 3. We waited another week to watch that, and we're just like, we can't wait. And then also spoilers would pop up online, and then it became, well, why the fuck doesn't HBO let you watch it at 12:01 Sunday morning? Get to wait until like 8 o'clock. And I've never known that when they dropped on streaming, and it became this thing where, and I'm an old man, I'm crotchety, slippers in the house. We're watching it Sunday night the minute it drops, And it hurt to wait a week on some of those, especially between 1 and 2. It was painful to wait that long.
Yeah. I'm really glad that I waited, because I can't even imagine having to wait an entire week between every episode. I think I watched the whole series over 2 nights. I want to say 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. I really can't, because it's such a well put together story that it works as like an 8-hour long movie almost.
Yeah, I think so.
So
maybe 2, maybe breaking it in half and have like the first 4 in the back 4.
Yeah.
Because there's a good climax at the end of the fourth one. So it could have been 2 monster episodes or 2 monster movies about a monster. I'm rambling. I just love the fact that your love for this series was so much so that you wanted to invest and go back and rewatch the miniseries, chapter 1, chapter 2, and do it right. It wasn't like you want to talk about it. You want to talk about it the correct way.
Yeah.
Where it sits in the history of this. And I'm so glad you did.
Yeah, me too.
I wouldn't have thought of discussing this one because it's just too big.
Right, yeah. Because, we kind of threw around a lot of ideas. Like, at one point, we were going to kind of do, like, short episodes throughout the month of, like, covering this. And then I was like, let's just do the whole month, just it. It's such a meaty franchise. There's so much to talk about. And, I'm ready to talk about this show because, holy crap, this show blew me away on multiple occasions, including, let's talk about that first episode. Oh, what were you going to say?
Fast, the synopsis. We're just going to make sure that in case anyone has avoided the spoilers, we're going to set it up anyway. Mm-hmm. It is a prequel series to Andy Muschietti's 2017 It. Yep. So it doesn't take place in the book. It takes place 27 years before chapter 1, which puts it roughly the time period when the first half of the book, not the first half of the book, but the book is set.
Yeah.
These are not the characters from the book, not the main characters. The Lizard's Club isn't the main characters from the book or the miniseries or the movies. This is like their parents' age. This is set before they're the main character. So this is like it's a fascinating, it's a prequel situation that's set in the, it's got a lot going for it.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to wrap.
So it happens.
If you're like you have a lot of knowledge about the franchise, it's kind of hard to wrap your brain around because it's like
you explain it, but once you're in it, you immediately go, okay, I get it.
Right.
You got to have you got to have Derry. That's the name. The way you grew up with it from the book and from the miniseries, you recognize it as being. Then you recognize the town as being from the movie. So it is like the best of both worlds, and it is such a. But the nice thing is there's no confines because by being set this way, no one's yelling at, hey, that's not from the book. I mean, there's little bits when they kind of shoehorn certain things.
Sure.
But for the most part, you're not trying to like compare this to another iteration of it. You're not mad that the Barrens are in the right part geographically of the town of you knew it. But it's just this great little thing by itself.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're still smiling, so I'm happy.
Yeah. So I just want to talk about. I mean, we don't have to talk about the series in order, but I think starting on the first episode is good because this show does something that takes a lot of balls. In that it introduces a cast of characters and then just kills them. It's kind of crazy. You got what's their names? Phil and taller guy. I can't remember his name. Yeah, I think Phil is meant to be Stan's uncle.
Yeah,
which is fun. And then and then they introduce Ronnie as well and Lily, who do end up being part of the main cast. But I love what's the very very intro, the what's that kid, Maddie.
Will? Maddie.
Yeah, that car sequence. Like again, this series with it chapter 1 and 2 and now Welcome to Derry, they use their cold opens so well to just be like
they let you know in the first 5 minutes what you're getting into.
Exactly. It's like, hey, are you
chapter 1 has Georgie, chapter 2 has Adrian the bridge scene. The book opens up with Adrian, so it's gory right away to scare. It's like letting you know, this is bad. So if you can get past the first 5 minutes, you can handle the whole thing. That's the one note. They take this scene and a kid running away from home in a weird, picked up by a family, and it's kind of got elements of like, okay, what's going on? Twilight Zone-y. MGM's from, and then just how that goes. It's just, and I don't want to spoil that. Go if you haven't watched this. Watch that first 10 minutes. Where it's just it's like, oh, is it gonna be kind of heady? Where it's gonna be the kid can spell everything, and then the sister's being like a snotty girl, and then it's like, and then it goes right from that to demon childbirth scene. And I'm just like tip my glass. I was hooked right then there. Yeah,
I remember the scene ends, and me and my wife would just sat in silence, just like, what? What is happening? What did we just watch? And there's even, I would say there's one more scene that's even a little more intense. I don't know if it's in this episode or the next one, but Ronnie being birthed. That whole sequence. First of all, incredible acting from like most, I would say almost everybody in this is incredible. All the kids are great. Ronnie in particular in this scene for sure blew my mind. I was like, I've never seen a child more afraid in my life, in real life or otherwise.
Like uncomfortably so. Like you're not thrown out of it. You are the challenge here these guys did was it's hard enough with like chapter 1 to cast it and then to be written and then to play it. So you not only love these characters, but you feel for them. You want them to be okay the whole time. In this series, they set it up. They give you the characters. They give you the losers of the era, and they work hard to make you love them. It is a hard. These are the kids. They're surviving this. Their friend Maddie's missing. They're going down the halls, and then at minute 50, they okay, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
We're killing them all pretty much, and it's in a movie theater, so it's kind of safe. We've been in the movie theater before.
Mm-hmm.
They get away, it's scary, and it's just like, did they just eat that kid? Just got snapped. Is that
Yeah.
And you're in shock, but it's not a gory. It's not like a jump scare thing. You are absolutely surprised. If that scene had been at the end of 8 hours,
Mm-hmm.
you'd be like, oh, they killed them all off. That's what I said. But being at the end of the first episode, you're like, well, what the fuck's going to happen next?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
They're killing off the entire cast minus the girl who's going to clearly be insane after this. Going to have to go, like, she's going to need therapy.
Yeah.
And then that's the whole plot of the point, is that she needs therapy. I sat there like, I mean, I was never jilted. Well, it's not like Game of Thrones or Walking Dead. Well, they killed my favorite person. If they killed Daryl, we're gonna walk.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like that. It was like, no, this town sucks.
Yeah.
Why do people live here? And they were so real because you don't expect that, but they let you know Derry's not a good place to be in. Yeah. But that was, that and the birthing. It was just, that's probably why we were hooked. Right from there was like, I need to know this town's okay, you know?
Right. Yeah. It kind of sets up this, this feeling of like danger too. It's like, oh, this is probably Pennywise at his most dangerous. Cause, he is just, I mean, we see him, especially in chapter 2, he kills a couple kids, it's just like a horrifying scene, but it's also kind of fast scenes. Both of those, he just kind of lunges and then they're eaten. And this, he like picks a kid up and like twists him around and throws him against his bloody carcass against the window. It's like, oh my God.
And it doesn't cut away. It shows like the slide. Yeah.
There's a little girl that gets eaten and all that's left of her is her arm, and like she's like trying to hold on to her hand to help her, and then she just pulls her arm away. It's like, oh my.
This shot when they reveal that he's holding on to a severed arm, I'm like, okay, this is what we're in for. This is nutty. And I'd forgotten about that. That's how good this I love a good gore effect like that. I love that's just what I love. I'd forgotten about those kind of tricks. I was more worried about all these characters are getting hurt. You know, I was, oh my God, no, not that kid.
Yeah.
So for me to be invested that heavily into it was what I think was the master stroke. You know, it fooled me 100% in a happy way. You know, this was, and the restraint, and after just describing a severed kid's arm and then the body sliding down the wall, I'm saying the restraint it had. It didn't show all its cards right away. They don't show Pennywise until episode 4. Like almost like that's why I thought if you're gonna break it in half, the first 4 episodes lead up to his reveal.
Yeah.
And then the latter half.
It was an incredible reveal.
Oh God. Yeah. They knew what they're doing. They knew this is not. It's episodic. Kind of means that every episode stands alone. You know, and it's not in vogue now. Now it is like one master storytelling. It's elevated TV. But they knew to hold off on Pennywise until episode 4, till halfway through. Yeah. And normally would be get him in here before the ad break. Again, there's no commercials because it's HBO. It's on TV. It's HBO. But holding that off, and they don't even show who all the characters are. You're not sure who's going to be because now you don't trust the show anymore. Yep. Because the episode 1 offs half of them. Who's your MVP of the kids?
Oh man, I mean, it's got to be Rich, right? I mean, that kid. Although by the end of the show, my favorite character is Marge, which is mind blowing to me because of how much I genuinely hated her in the early. Because you're supposed to.
Well, the setup you have the losers. You have Rich by himself. You have a couple of the new kid, the Hanlon kid. Mm-hmm. It's Will, right? Will Hanlon. Will, yep. It's like it's Mike's dad. Yep. And then you have Marge, and then the snooty little popular girls. No, the mean girls.
What are they called? Like I can't remember what's their little group called.
I just remember bitches because that brought back some like trauma of my junior high.
Sure.
Yeah. But then Marge, she looks like she's going to be, you know, the Two-Face girl, one of the bad girls, and then she's going to like use our heroes to like whatever it was. So I didn't like Marge. I'm with you. I didn't like her at all. And then the reveal of just like she gets to have the arc. Mm-hmm. And then she's your hero by the end, and then one of the heroes. There's many heroes in this. Yeah,
and this I said when we were talking about the first movie that Welcome to Derry kind of redeems something that annoyed me in the first movie, which is that Bev gets captured and then all the boys have to go and save her. This show does the opposite, where at the end Will gets captured and the girls have to go and save him. And that little adventure, the three of them with the milk truck and everything, like I want so much more of that. They were so funny together.
We had paused right in that scene, like number 7, I think, where all the only one left to fight are the girls in it, and we had paused and like take the dog outside where it was, and we come back and we both kind of realized, is it all girls now? It's only the girls. Like, there's no one else. There's no other. We're not following anyone else.
Yeah.
And my wife kind of points out, oh, it's like that scene in Avengers Endgame, only not forced. And that's all the female heroes are running towards. And I'm like, and I didn't even think about it. It was just the girls were left, but it's kind of like. It is. Stranger Things starts off, not to compare again. It's all the boys, and then a girl comes into the group. It is like that. The 7, the losers are a bunch of boys, and then the girl shows up.
Yeah.
And then here it's just a matter of fact. It wasn't like trying to orchestrate. It was, I don't know, it was probably choreographed that way. It was just like it kind of happened.
Yeah. There's not even
and I'm like, yeah, there wasn't a scene. Oh, it's just, and there's never a mention. Oh, the boys are gone. Now what do we do? We have to go.
The girls have to get it done, like in the boys.
And the song's in your head. Yeah. And even when the boys do show up at the end, it's not a rescue scene. It is sort of like all the kids together.
Yeah.
It was done so well of just like, that's what happens. You know?
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Rich is probably, I mean, they knew what they were doing when they made that character. They knew what they were doing. They were getting you to fall in love so they could just rip your heart out and crush it in front of you.
Right through your chest, right through your rib cage.
Watching
Rich is the MVP. He's so fun.
Yeah, he's just great. They give him all the greatest lines. He's like not cool, which is awesome. Like I love that he's like such a dork and like like a little weird guy. But he's so easy to fall in love with, and he's crushing on Marge, and their little relationship is
unabashedly. So he's not even shy about it. It's like she walks by and all the shows kind of like, you know, like Bill and Bev. Bill's kind of like, oh, I kind of like her, and then and Ben's writing poetry. Rich is just going
like jaw on the ground.
I just and you know, he's a little short kid, and she's walking by, and she's got glasses. It's the 60s, 50s. Looks at him all weird, and he's just looking like, oh,
swooning.
I'm gonna write you a love letter on a Hallmark card, and it's really sweet, and it does take you back to like those crushes in junior high.
Yeah, it's very sincere.
Yeah.
And it's a little cheesy at times, but not in a way that's like unrealistic to, you know, kids are. I love one of my favorite scenes in the whole show. Isn't even like remotely a horror scene. It's him replacing her gauze on her eye.
Oh yeah,
and it's such a sweet scene. I think it's probably the episode before he ends up dying. Spoiler alert.
One or two ahead of that. It's somewhere early on, because she gets attacked by herself.
Right. That was the one thing I knew going into this show was there was a character whose eyes get extended out of their head a little. I saw a shot of it, and I didn't have any context or anything. That was the one thing that was spoiled. But yeah, I love the moment where she takes the thing off, and it looks horrendous. Like it's so gross. and she's just like, it's gross, isn't it? He's like, I think it might be the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Which is such a little kid thing. It's not like, because it's gross.
Yeah.
And he's not just being nice, saying, "Oh, I think it's good to character."
No,
he's just like, "That's so badass."
He's enamored by it.
He's just like, "You've got a hatch. You're a pirate." And they're telling pirate jokes, and then the bit about the knights, how knights would pee in a bucket and stuff. Mm-hmm. There's just so much true to life kid stuff that they're not. I mean, the movies, they're dumb kids too. Yeah. But they're in a town of people dying, so the stakes are there. Mm-hmm. But these kids are just so, oh, that's so cool. Yeah. But it's just, and I was sure that Marge was going to be dead. I don't think I didn't think when she got the eye scene in the shop class. Mm-hmm. By the way, lock those doors to the classes. I thought she was done. So the next episode, she's back with the eye patch. I'm like, oh, I guess that was more not in her physical head, but like there was more of like an illusion that Pennywise was doing. Yeah. So I thought she was I thought her whole point was going to be she died, and it looked like the other girl, Lily was that she had murdered her, because they have a scene where you know, she's all bloody. Lily's above her with like a trowel from the shop class. Mm-hmm. All the kids walk on, and I remember thinking, oh, this is like every show where our hero is being framed,
Right.
the bloody knife kind of thing. Like, oh, she's going to go back to Juniper Hills, the local asylum.
Yeah, I was actually.
I don't want to live in a town that has a local asylum. That's a dead giveaway.
Especially because Derry doesn't feel like that big of a town.
It's on the map. The map is it's like the next town over. It's like between there and like Castle Rock. It's like, but it's close enough that he has to drive to get, like in the book, he has to drive. But I'm still, how much?
Yeah,
that's a sign.
Right,
Even an
right.
asylum that many guards on it. Yeah. So I thought her whole point of being there was to make the other character get caught and get pulled out of the room, and she does for a while. She does get back in the hospital, which is like, again, a very doesn't happen very often. The hero doesn't go. If they do, they stay with her and they're out right away. But the parents, no, you're nuts. Go in there.
Yeah, and this show also does a great job of showing kids being afraid of things that aren't Pennywise. Like her fear of Juniper Hill is so good. It's so like well written. That's like when she's talking to the cop early on, because they're trying to pin the murders on Ronnie's dad, and like he mentions, oh, you probably have to take a stop at Juniper Hill, and she just immediately just like no, like anything.
I've
but
been
that.
there. No, I don't want to do that. And then they said that she'd been there before. It is such a class thing, ostracized. Like she's gone through this. She's been ridiculed.
Yeah.
All the stuff with the cop. It's Henry Bowers' his dad or grandpa thing.
I think it's his grandpa. Yeah.
I hated. Not like hated, like, oh, there's a mistake. It was like watching those characters. I wanted them to just go get killed now, because it was just like all the crap with we're gonna lie and we're gonna do this kind of thing. They're being nice to the Hanlons in town, but they're only nice when the lights are on, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, this is such a, and they lie and they go, we're not the South. What are we gonna do? We're better than that, and then they're not any better than that.
Yeah,
and the people say, like in the other movies, well, it's because Pennywise is influenced. I'm like, no, that's just a small town, and that's kind of kind of what it is. And that just reminded me of small towns.
My only, like, if I could change one thing about this, it would be like about this show, and maybe this is not even a good call because it would be less realistic, but I hate that there's only one person who is responsible for the actual violence that happened at the black spot that gets any kind of comeuppance. Like, most people just walk away from that scene and then they don't show up ever again. And that's a bit of a bummer because you really want to see. I want that scene from Silent Night, Deadly Night, where
where they.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. At some point, Pennywise is just like, oh, especially because right afterwards he gets released. I was like, oh, okay, so this is how those people are going to end up getting their comeuppance, but they just don't. And I guess that's more realistic to the time.
It also makes sense that they go back in the town and keep Derry, evil.
Yeah.
But yeah, you kind of want to have that you want them to all get eaten in the parking lot or sit down in the cars to blow up or something like that, or Pennywise to go, wait a minute, I might eat kids, but I don't hate the kids. I'm not
have like a Chucky moment.
Yeah. That was great.
I'm not a monster.
Now, what did you? Yeah, I'm not a monster. How do you feel about the entire inclusion of the military and the whole plot about how to contain it?
Yes. So when I found out that's the direction we were going, like I would say like episode 2 or 3 is when they like kind of, it's like, oh, we're here specifically to cage this monster, to use it as a military weapon. I was like, this is either going to be the dumbest show in the world or like my favorite thing ever that I would want to make. and luckily it ended up being the latter, because it is dumb. It's really dumb. Like the premise of using Pennywise as a weapon, which ends up not being entirely true, but he's still being used by the military for like civil to like prevent civil war, I guess.
Yeah.
By the end of it, I don't even know if it's really like a military caller. I think it's just the one guy just kind of gone rogue.
Yeah.
But regardless, I was like, that. What a dumb, like, just it's so dumb and big and like, it's like you ever see there's like a Key and Peele bit where they're talking about the writer's room for Gremlins 2. And they're just like, they're just throwing out these like, what about vegetable gremlin? I love it. Let's do it. Like,
right, but Joe Dante, go ahead and put it in.
Yeah. It feels a lot like that, where it's just kind of like someone was just like, what if Pennywise was like a really big, dangerous bomb, fear bomb, and it's just like, all right, yeah, let's go with that. Let's see how it turns out.
I was the same way. I was like, okay, I don't know if I want to see. And I love James Remar and the idea of Grandpa Hanlon being military, and I liked his backstory about not being afraid, which is a little bit, man with no fear.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind him as far as being like fodder. So we have to kill off bad guys. Like we have to have the big fight out at the end. But I was thinking, I agree with you. I'm like, okay, this is going to be, I don't want to see, it's like, the army guys show up in the Blob.
Yeah.
Which is great for a movie, but for like 8 hours kind of thing. And I think the time and then the scene where they jump Leroy in his barracks. And I was thinking, oh, this is going to be one of those where it's a bunch of racist, the rednecks do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is like, I've seen this before. Let's go with it. And then like a minute later, it points out that no, that was actually like a test. And then I think by that point, I'd forgotten that I was like worried about the military kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like them using Pennywise as a fear bomb, I guess it kind of makes sense as far as the duck and cover mentality back then. They're worried about the H bomb, the A bomb going off.
Yeah.
And I kind of get it. But it's also like they need to have some scenes of not the kids, because like they have to fill it up with something. And I was like, I'd seen it before, and I was hesitant going into it, but then until right now when you brought it up, I was like, no, I liked it. It was fine. It was all good.
Yeah.
Gotta come up somehow.
Yeah, and
I do love when the one guy you've been hating for like 4 episodes, when he gets it gloriously. And I thought he was going to be a hero. He's going to have a about face, the lead military guy, James Remar.
Oh yeah,
we're going to see more of his character. Like they have little bits of other time frames of 27 years before this and the years before that. So he's going to be around for a while, that character, but he's not going to be around anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I love all the. I don't know. It shouldn't work. I think if you if you put it on paper, just write out the plot of this show and like the military side of things, anyways. It's just really silly, and like it's like weirdly like video gamey at times too. It's like, I got the quest, very D&D. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Here's a quest. We need the piece, and I didn't like any of the stuff where they have to find the knife, and then it's this thing, and the monster can't go past this. But I guess it's a cross. It's a vampire's garb. Like it's all the same thing. And they explain this. It's the stuff that when Pennywise made it to Earth, he was contained in something, and then those fragments are there, and they surround the town. Like, who put them there? It was very like questy kind of thing, which is the whole thing's about a quest,
Sure.
And by that point, I'm like I'm complaining about it because it's not literally being spoon fed to me how I want it to be. I should just shut the fuck up and just enjoy. And I did.
Yeah, exactly. At a certain point, like you can definitely resist it and just like be like, okay, this is dumb. But at a certain point, I think you're doing yourself a disservice to not just kind of be like, okay, let's see what we're doing here. Let's see where they're going. And I think that the way that they tie everything in a nice bow at the end, and how everything kind of it's just it works really well. They do a really good job, even with like such a silly over the top premise. It's still really good. Also, I mean, you can't. I think I was bought into the whole plot as soon as Dick was brought in. Like
I was gonna say, once, yeah.
Because at that point, I'm like, oh, okay, give this guy. I want a show where he just goes and from like Stephen King book to Stephen King book and solves problems and things. Like,
yeah,
he was so.
I've heard that more times. Dick Halloran, he's in the novel. He's mentioned. He makes his quest. And I said before, I don't want to. The quest wasn't for me, but he was there. The actor was top shelf. Like that's the thing is Dick Halloran has never been played never had a bad performance from people playing him.
Yeah,
but in here he's there and he's a little bit different. He's kind of weird. He's overly, he has the shine without saying he has the shine. Because I can't. I don't think they were smart not to say it.
Yeah,
but he's there. His flashbacks were completely what I assumed Dick Halloran went through.
Yeah,
pre The Shining. We said no spoilers for Welcome to Derry, but Dick Halloran is the cook from The Shining. He's been on screen before in The Shining, in the miniseries, and in Doctor Sleep. He's a character that like King fans know and love. Whether it's Scatman Crothers or Melvin Van Peebles or whoever's playing him. But him being on here was the neatest thing because he absolutely fit, and it makes people like go, oh yeah, when Dick Hallorann saves the day in it, you just believe he's there the whole time.
Yeah.
And he's very Doctor Sleep version of The Shine.
Yeah, with the
very
boxes.
much like the boxes and stuff. And I thought that was such a neat touch that it actually brings in, like, you could have Abracadabra show up in a later movie, Abra from Doctor Sleep and stuff. I thought he was top shelf.
Yeah.
I thought his little bit about, okay, you rank me in the military, but doesn't matter, I'm Dick.
Yep.
Everyone loves Dick. Dick's the best. It's the best Dick in the whole movie.
Yeah.
You get them all out one big blast.
They literally say because at a certain point he interacts with Pennywise, and Pennywise opens his box, which makes it so that all of the ghosts that he saw when he was a kid kind of flood back to him. I mean, he's kind of, it's like if you died in the vicinity, I think you show up wherever he is. He sees people that died around that area. Yeah. And it makes him, obviously go a little bit crazy. And there's a great scene, where it's him and what's the Will's dad's name? Leroy.
Leroy.
Yeah, Leroy and Dick are kind of having an argument. Leroy's like, listen, you got to finish the job. And Dick is just completely being like, no, I don't, whatever. And he says something disrespectful to Leroy, and Leroy reminds him, like, hey, I'm your superior, and he just goes, I don't give a fuck. Like,
I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
This is so much bigger than
which is
ranks.
the nice thing about the military thing. Them being there, like the rank goes. But yeah, but the rank's great when you have to walk on a line, take orders, get the job done, protect the country. But when there's a giant ghost monster eating all the kids, and then and you're seeing ghosts everywhere, who gives a fuck what your pips you have on your shoulder?
Exactly.
No, I would absolutely, after Flanagan did Doctor Sleep, which I loved.
Me too.
And then it kind of tanked in the box office because it came out like the first week of November, and it was opposite Joker, so no one wanted to see and also it was marketed as Shining 2, which it is, but it's not. And I just think and everyone I've talked to that's seen it loved it, and then they loved the director's cut, the Blu-ray. And then they're like an hour to it, a half an hour, where it's just like this is where Flanagan shines in this long-winded stuff. They were going to do a prequel series called The Overlook, or Flanagan wanted to do a movie about Dick Hallorann, and I was kind of like, yeah, but it's a prequel show, and it's got to lead up to this, and I mean, maybe just go off and do something else because it's just so good. And now I'm like, I'm a freaking idiot because they should have done that, and I want that show, like you just said, I want to see, because somewhere after Derry and before The Shining, Hallorann goes, I'm going to call him Hallorann now instead of saying Dick. He goes off to, I think, Europe. Did he go into Paris for a while?
Yeah. Yep.
And then he ends up in Colorado. And the line, which is fan service, which I just loved. How much trouble could a hotel be? And everyone's going, that's the Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
The meme where he's pointing at it. I'm like, okay, but I want to see him. I want to see Hallorann go to France. I want to see him meet ghosts there. Everything. I want that actor to stay with it. Let him shave his head at some point. Be more Scatman-y.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When he was on screen, they knew when to bring in. They knew when to add some Dick to make it better. When it's getting kind of slow, they bring him in because he gets to have the culmination of every other horror show. When we're getting a little bit talky, like I am right now, or when we're getting a little bit bogged down by the military, we bring in Hallorann, and then we remind him that he's like in the one room, and it's a big scene where he's sitting there, and Leroy goes to talk to him, and he's just sitting there, just like catatonic almost. And then they cut to his point of view where there's ghosts everywhere because he's lost the ability to all the ones he had in his head have gotten free. Very Doctor Sleep. And it's that's Sixth Sense. That is The Shining. It's everything. That's the horror story we've seen before where he's just nonstop ghosts and they're walking around. And there's a great way where he comes out of the cave when he's been confronted by Pennywise.
Yes.
And a soldier walks by and you're like, wasn't that guy just like shot a minute ago? And he turns and like he is, he's a ghost because now he's seeing the ghost, and it's the best of both worlds. It does.
And that moment's so great too because it's before it even explains to you. Because if you're a fan of the franchise like Doctor Sleep, you kind of can put it together like, oh, what's going on when he opens that box. But if you're not, it doesn't explain it at that point. Like you just see that he's interacting in his brain. He gets a box ripped open, and the next time we see him, he's just like you said, catatonic, just kind of stumbling out of the sewers, and you see a character that we just saw die.
Yeah.
and it's cool. It's just a nice little tease, and then the next episode it kind of explains everything. I love the idea too that like it's manageable. Like he sees these ghosts, but they just ignore him. But if you talk to one, then they all just start telling you their ghost secrets nonstop, and then you go crazy.
Because from the ghost point of view, people always are around them,
right?
And I'm sure that the people always look at the ghost even though they can't see them, and so they're kind of like they're getting used to it. They're just doing what they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when they talk to them, then it's like it's very creepy.
Yeah,
that stuck with me the most because I'd never seen that before. I've seen Pennywise eat everybody, but that whole bit was well done.
Yeah, I love.
But then they save it for the end. Okay, no, I know we're okay. I don't want to jump it. I don't want to lead it the right way, but this is I can't think of anything in a long time of the horror family. Maybe some Flanagan stuff in Bly Manor, which is going to get a lot of comparisons here. But I had 3 great cries watching this, which has not happened to most Stephen King stuff. If I can think of anything, but like this one had like full on tears in the eyes, and then like at the end when we get the adrenaline rush and the tears kind of thing. Did you have a couple too?
Oh yeah, I had one big one, and that would be Rich showing up at the end to help out. It wasn't even like I wasn't crying out of sadness. It was just like they did such an amazing job with everything surrounding Rich, having him be so likable, having his death be so soul crushing, and then his return at the end. It doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel. It feels perfect. It just feels perfect. It's a perfect, and it was just such an emotional crescendo for me that when he flips off Pennywise, I just started bawling.
that even right now I'm getting misty when he sacrificed himself. And I don't. And anyone who says that so they're at the black spot.
Yes.
It's Marge and Rich. Everyone else is run away. He realizes if Marge gets in the igloo cooler, not igloo, but in the cooler, the fire won't get to where it's burning. It's fire. He lays on top to protect her, but also I think to keep her inside too. And people were saying, it's Jack and Rose from the Titanic. They could both fit in the door. This is dumb. And I'm like, no, I think they both wouldn't have fit inside because she would have fought to get out. So I think he's keeping her in there to keep her alive. It's not they wouldn't have fit. Yeah. Stop being a hater.
Also, even if if that box was twice the size it was, and there was clearly visually enough room for both of them, I don't care. Like that's not the point. You know what I mean?
But the story is there. It's exactly. That he is holding her inside. It's not that he couldn't fit, and then he was letting her live. He was making her live. He found the spot. Exactly. And he kept, and then they're talking, and the talk's great, and that didn't have me crying. I mean, a little bit misty, but a little bit of moisture. It was like you said. It was so he's gone. We say goodbye. At the end, the big band fight at the end, when Rich runs by and he flips off Pennywise, the adrenaline and the tears. Like you said, when he walks by and it's that little finger, which is flat out Losers Club, their motto, flipping off, ghost entities. And I'm like, oh, it felt so good and everything across the board. Beautiful tears. Rich, who's now dead, he's a ghost. He shows up at the end to help them. Close the plot device. To close the gate, and he's just there, and that got me a misty eye. But then when the friends talk about, I felt him there. That was like okay, that was the tears. That whole bit. But then it was the end. The funeral. It was a couple times when he shows up for his family, and you see the hand, and the parents are bawling, and I'm like, okay, even now I'm getting misty eyed. Too many funerals. He's there, and I'm like, oh, that's so sad. But sad. But then when Halloran shows up, when Dick shows up. And he says, "Hey, your boy's here," and then it was just, "Oh God, don't let me cry."
No.
Anyway, yeah.
This is the first tears of the podcast.
No, when the ratings come in, those are just tears in too. But it's that end when Dick reaches out to the parents.
Yeah.
And it's just like this again. There's no dialogue because Rich can't talk.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's like reassuring that that's how maybe that happens in real life.
Yeah. And I think what Dick says, he's like, you feel that hand on your shoulder, that's your boy, and it's
totally that's the church stuff. That's the one set of footprints. Yep.
At that moment, and to be fair to all other portrayals of Dick, this one we stuck with him a lot. This is the most screen time he's ever had before. But it was at that moment, I turned to my wife and I was like, this is like peak Dick Halloran to me. Like, this is my favorite portrayal of him. I love this character so much. I so hope we see more of this guy playing Dick in the future, because it's so good. It's such a great character, and that scene.
But it's so good, and it makes me I want another series of him, or standalone, or Dick in Paris. But it also makes me go back and and I
remember watching that leaked on the internet.
My day, it was on a VHS tape. But it makes me, when I watch The Shining, or especially Dr. Sleep, that's his same guy and same story. That you can see this guy. The reason he reaches out for Danny so hard at the Overlook is because he saw these kids doing this before. He knows what he can do, and this kid's gonna have a hard time. Yeah.
There's also it's the sweet moment when Will gets captured and Dick is about to take his own life, and like nothing is stopping this guy from pulling this trigger until Leroy says, like, they got Will, and you're literally the only person that can help me. And he's like, God damn it. He has a lot of good moments like that where he's
there's a lot of like, God.
Yeah, I love it so much when he goes to the black spot and he finds that Grogan is being harbored there, and he's just like, nope, get him out of here. We got to send, like, we're not dealing with this. This is too much trouble. And he's about to leave in like a huff, and then Ronnie shows up and is like, Daddy, oh my God, and they have this like great moment, and then it just cuts to Dick. And he's just like, God damn it! Now, all right, it's good stuff.
So good.
We got to talk about Leroy and what is her name? His wife, who was also, she was probably one of my favorite characters as well. Charlotte, I believe her name was.
Yeah.
She we saw this actress previously in Toxic Avenger, which she was also great in that. But she is amazing in this. Like, she is so good. Paige Taylor, I want to say her name is.
That sounds right.
She's kind of the firecracker wife of Leroy, Leroy is very much by the books, follow the rules, military guy, and she is an outspoken figure in like the civil rights movement, in her local area, and I love the conflict there, because that's not a conflict that I'm used to seeing when the civil rights era is discussed. I don't think we really. This probably more speaks to the content that I consume, more so. I'm sure there are great depictions of the civil rights movement through the eyes of people of color, and but it's just done really well here. There's a great dinner scene where they're kind of like having a discussion about like what's the right thing to do, like stay in line and like keep your head down and just do the best you can with what you got, or like go against the system, get in trouble, but do your part in breaking the system and making it into something better. And I really like that whole scene. I think it's something that's resonates today so much. And I love that the fan base, the Welcome to Derry fan base, is so open to that kind of discussion. Just, I think Stephen King's fan base in general are generally pretty, woke individuals, I guess. I didn't see any complaints from people that I cared about their opinion of about this show being like too political or anything like that, because it is very political, and it is very racism is very much on the forefront of the discussion and the themes, but never in a way that feels unearned or disrespectful to actual events, anything like that.
Because like it would have been craptacular to have. And it's I'm looking at the Taylor page, not Paige Taylor.
Okay. Sorry,
I'm looking at it. It's right in front of me. But it's like one of those things where there's never a point where the Hanlons they cure racism. They don't solve, because the problem is saving the kid and saving the town kind of stuff. And then when you have the dirty cops, they're doing what they can do in the setting. They don't they don't solve the big problems because it's on a one-on-one kind of thing. But it never felt like every decision they made was informed by the situation, the reality of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole bit with the family, and then but like as a military wife in a place where she can't really work because she was teaching before and she got fired for having an opinion, which is it's sadly true and also
relatable.
Yeah. Gee, wait.
That's all I'm
I
saying.
have an opinion. That's all I'm saying. God, don't go to Derry. Spencer, do not go to Derry. It's going to get worse up there.
They would like
it's been 27 years. Yeah. Derry strong. Anyway, but as I was going to say before I had to dodge a step, I like how all this stuff happens far enough into the show. Like with the third episode when she gets like they almost calibrated. Okay, if we can get rid of all the assholes, won't last till the third episode. So we can be as political as we want to be third and fourth on, so that the wife can go on. And she's just that's one thing that the one carryover element from the other movies and the books is that people in Derry don't care about the kids. They'll turn their eye and look a different direction the whole time. Yeah. There's the point early on where there's kids beating up another kid, and then she walks out there, Charlotte, and just like stops and what are you doing? And the kid like gets in her face like he's gonna hit her, and she looks around and goes, What the hell is wrong? And all everyone else is just walking by. Mm-hmm. It's like so she gets to see the outside, the way the town reacts to anyone. Not just as a kid. It's like when Ben looks at why is no one helping me out back in the day, and she goes inside and then there's another adult there and he's like, well, kids will be kids, and then he's being nice to her, and then 5 minutes later you think, okay, there's one nice adult besides the Hanlons, and they cut to him at the house and he's just the biggest sack of festering shit.
Let's talk about
a lot of big sex. There's a lot of big sex. They did a really good job of now having to recreate the Bev storyline, but to realize that it's just the same sacks of feces everywhere. I'm still stuck on the joke yet, so what's that like?
We have to talk about Mrs. Kirsch. It's weird because that's Mr. Kirsch was the meat guy, which also
meat guy.
Wow, they do just a little aside before we dive into Mrs. Kirsch. Kirsch with a K, is that right?
With a K. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know why Hirsch also sounds right, but Kirsch. They do a great job. Such a amazing little punctuation on the black spot, which we also need to talk about the black spot. That scene is horrifying, and it does not pull any punches. I mean, you're just seeing. You're seeing a group of people just getting massacred, and it is horrifying. But a great punctuation on that is the way that it was reported on afterwards, that it was an electrical fire, and found amongst the dead was Mr. Kirsch, because Pennywise kills him right outside. And then the way that it's framed is that he was there to help put the fire out and died. And like the only person that they name in the entire report is him, or they name him and then they name Grogan, because they also think he died in the fire. But they were like, let's do a moment of silence for Mr. Kirsch, a great American hero. And it's just like, man, I just want to punch everything in the face right now. Like, it is so upsetting.
And that's got to be based on many actual reporting.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah. But Mr. Kirsch, very hateable character. I would say arguably more hateable by the end of things is Mrs. Kirsch, who is responsible for the entire thing. She was the one that turns Grogan in because she wants to feed Pennywise because she thinks Pennywise is her father, which is crazy, and I love that so much. They do such a great job tying all that in, and it's just it was something that was completely, I did not see that coming at all. I was excited to see that she was in the show. I was curious to see what they were going to do with her, and they did an amazing job with her, and the way that it ties everything with chapter 2 into it. the reason Bev sees her is because she saw her during the traumatic moment of her mother passing away or taking her own life, which is like, that's so smart. It's just such a cool, because it wouldn't make sense for Mrs. Kirsch to still be alive in that time frame. But we know it's
I
Pennywise.
remember people complain about that, like, oh well, she wouldn't be alive still. I'm like, well, she's not.
Right, that's Pennywise. It's just, I think he's just drawing from that moment in time where her mom killed herself, and this crazy old lady just kind of wanders into the room and goes, "Oh, no one really ever dies," and it's just so good. The performance that she does is really good too. When she shows up at the black spot dressed up as Periwinkle, and she has that scene with her husband, and her husband gets, first of all, Pennywise like cutting someone's head in half and then taking a bite out of it with a meat cleaver. Something I didn't expect to see, but I was like, all right, cool. I didn't know that was something he would just, he just wanted a little snack in that moment.
Well, it's like a bowl, so it
Right.
makes sense. I mean, it's like Go-Gurt. It's traveling size.
Yeah. But yeah, she really creeped me out in that scene. And also the scene where she kind of reveals her backstory to Lily, which is another.
I think all the stuff like that is the backstory on Pennywise, the Mrs. Kirsch, the pathways to the younger version of her at the hospital was all just like, oh, this is all new, and I love the whole that travel. I'm glad I don't know if it could hold a whole show or not, but I thought that was such a neat way to have it go there. And Madeline Stowe rocks as her version of it, and then the lady that came back from chapter 2 is so creepy. And then the younger girl, I just completely forgot there's the younger version of her in the flashbacks. I just thought it was Madeline Stowe because she could do anything.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Kirsch is just, if I remember in the book, hers only there is so that her name sounds like Marsh.
Exactly.
So when Bev goes to her house.
Yep.
And it's a creepy scene. And at the end of that scene, it's in the book, it's the dad, like it's Kirsch turns into Marsh and then scares her and it runs away.
Yeah.
And then the chapter 2 has the trailer moment where they have that whole scene where she's creeping out Bev and it's going through and it's scary. So here it's like, oh, that's so earned.
Yeah.
And then it ends up being the capper to the whole series is to link this with chapter 1. You have someone in the hospital screaming.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Walks in there and someone's been hanged herself.
I don't know if you can hear me or not, but you just got start over. You were making a point about her walking and hanging. That's when you cut out.
You follow Mrs. Old Lady Kirsch, which I'm not going to be in a nice way, but it's like you don't know when it is because it's like they might have a date on it saying it's like 89. Maybe they do. They do say the date.
I think they do.
Yeah. So you're following Mrs. Kirsch in 89 down the hall at the hospital. She's still working there. Someone's hanged herself, and then someone's crying. Then it turns up and it's Bev, and it's played by the actress from chapter 1,
Sophie Lillis.
Yeah.
Something
so
like that.
It turns to her, and then she has that great line, and it's so creepy because we haven't seen this version of Kirsch since chapter 2, and it all comes rushing back at all. Oh, like you're sitting and having the epiphany.
Yeah.
It's all means something. And then the line about, remember, no one dies in Derry, and I love that so much. And then it's done, and then that was the actress's last thing because she passed away like right after shooting that. Which means she went out as a winner. It's like when Betty White passed away right before her 100th birthday. It's called timing. She gets that great delivery. She gets to basically make everyone creeped out. Gets to go, I'm pretty damn badass. And then she's like, okay, I've lasted. I've done my swan song. I love that. I love that cap so much.
Yeah, it's incredible. And she is so. Like you said, like she's not that. Prior to even in it chapter 2, it doesn't feel like she's that important. Even like the Bob Gray stuff, where it's like, oh, it's her dad was Bob Gray, this clown. All of that could have just been Pennywise just dicking around, but
absolutely.
But they decided to actually turn it into something, and they did a really good job with it. I love the flashbacks I love the portrayal of Bob Gray. We
haven't talked about Skarsgård at all. Yeah, we should. Skarsgård love.
This is definitely peak Skarsgård playing Pennywise. The final episode, him doing the Pied Piper with the tuba, burr, 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 burr.
So good, yeah.
I love that he also, and I correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe this happens in either of the movies, but whenever he does the deadlights in the show, he screams, and it's so funny. Oh. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay. I was just saying, the whole I don't believe it happens in the first two movies, but in this show, every time he reveals the dead lights, he screams during it, and it's so funny. It's just like oh, just in the background the entire time. And I love that so much. But yeah, his portrayal of Bob Gray is so different than Pennywise. Like Bob Gray is this like kind old man who's just like, you know, he used to be a big circus performer, and now he just does little carnival shows because his wife passed away, and he's like trying to like get his daughter to kind of replace his wife, and not in a creepy way. That sounded really creepy, but
it's borderline creepy, but it's not meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like when he's getting lured away by Pennywise, it's kind of heartbreaking. It's just like, oh no, this guy just doesn't want like this kid to also go through what his daughter's going through and losing his mom. So, but I love the reasoning behind it. Pennywise is like, oh, children seem to be drawn to you. Like, that I get it now. This is like a new persona just unlocked, and it's gonna help me in my quest to eating as many children as possible. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Skarsgård in his reveal, like the first time he shows up when he comes out of Maddie, it's really crazy too. Yeah, this is peak Bill Skarsgård for sure.
The bit where he's playing Bob Gray and it's in the makeup and he has like the face, the fake top hat on. I remember when that was known. He was like, there's stills came out or shots, and I'm like, oh, do I need to see the backstory? I'm thinking, is that going to slow it down? But then I get it might have been why Skarsgård signed, because he didn't sign on for a little while, and then they probably gave him more money and they gave him a producer credit, so he gets more money out of it. But stuff like that would make it more fun. It wasn't like a whole episode of a flashback. It was still very much telling the story. But the bit where he did.
Oh, you froze. Still frozen. Oh,
the performance. I mean, I love when he's doing the marionette with all the stuff with the blood from when he's doing the school.
Hold on. Okay, I think you're back.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on.
I had to pee. Sorry. I go wipe my tears of the cries from the rich scene. But when Pennywise is doing when he's marionetting the principal through the head and he throws him out, I thought that was great. Like really fun, but when he's bloody from like the nose down, I love that look. That's usually sequels will have like a different Batman costume or whatever it was. And the hair was chapter 2 was a bit different. I love that red look. I stopped buying Funkos, but I want that Funko. It was the bit that with Skarsgård impressed me was when he's in the flashback bits where he's at the carnival, like the traveling one, and he's doing his act for the kids. And it's so well done. All things that pop up, he's reacting to it.
Yeah.
And he gets kind of mad. And I'm like, oh, is he? I'm drawn in because I don't like clowns. But is he mad, or is not Skarsgård mad? Is Bob Gray mad, or is he in character? Is Pennywise being mad? And then when the kids come up and tear the set apart, I was mad for him. I'm like, that's a performance, because I went all the different angles of that, being on his side, being against him, feeling for him, and then he runs off and he's like, these. No wonder I hate kids. Like, did it go? Got that? We're same page, but we're both gonna do it.
Yeah, I didn't put it together the first time watching it that the performance was him telling the story of his wife passing. Like, it wasn't until the second time I was watching it, I was like, oh, that's what this is. Because it's his wife's clown suit is like the thing that he dances with and stuff. It's really cool. It's like and they take time on it too. It's like it's a nice little performance, and Bill Skarsgård really gives his all in it, and it feels like it feels very real for the time period and stuff. Really, really good stuff. I had another point, and I don't know what it was. So,
well, I'll stall because I think they. I'll stall for you. I think everything they need to tell in this time, in this 27 years point, is done. At the end, they talk about how the Pennywise lives outside of our time frame, or time perspective. So, and then when Marge says we kill this fucking clown, I screamed.
Oh yeah,
and then they reveal that Marge is actually Richie Tozer's mom in the future, and then Pennywise is mad and all this kind of stuff. But was he killed? Was Pennywise killed in chapter 2, or was he born then? Does he get stronger going backwards? Kind of like a Star Trek kind of thing. All that's great. I don't need to come back to this time frame again. I think they've this setting is solid.
Yeah.
If season 2 is 27 years before, and then they go back, who knows what it's going to be. I'm happy if every season is a different occurrence of 27 years, and we leave the present day, the 2017 one, well, whatever year it was supposed to be with McAvoy.
Yeah.
If that is the end of Pennywise and we keep going backwards, I'm totally fine. Just give me more dick. That'd be a parallel story.
Yeah. Yeah, I also love that they don't explicitly say that Richie Tozier was named after Rich. I don't know the other kid's last name.
My favorite people that weren't paying attention. Someone says that's just gross that she named her kid Rich, and then they that she was pregnant. Then it doesn't match up with the timelines. I'm like, dude, just because you name your kid, someone thought that Rich and Marge
they thought that Rich was the
had
dad.
Sex at the black spot.
That doesn't even make
It makes no sense.
Pennywise literally says in there, like, first comes love, then comes marriage. Like, she's like, oh, your name's not Tozier yet, but it will be. Like, they explicitly say, like,
but they just someone wanted to complain about it. I'm just like, going, don't make a beautiful scene stupid. Also, you're stupid, and stop saying this. And it's, and maybe if if I'd kept reading it, he would have said kidding.
No, sure.
But I'm just life's too short. But but I love Marge's whole we got to kill this fucking clown.
Yeah,
as being like, I know it's fan service, but sometimes it's nice to be serviced.
Yeah, no.
So good.
I was in for it for sure. The other thing I was going to say earlier that I forgot was just that I like that we get to see how Pennywise hibernates in this, like just in a giant vat of blood and children parts.
Well, how do you sleep?
Yeah. I was a little bummed that I got so excited at the beginning of the final episode when the mist starts rolling in through Derry.
Yeah.
And I was so disappointed that I didn't actually have a tie to the mist. Because I was waiting for that, especially when it shows like the radar with the military, and they're like, "Oh, there's some anomaly like spreading out from Maine," and I was like, "Because in the mist, it is like a military that did it."
I thought the same thing. I thought it was going to be whatever they call it. It's going to be something in the mist. We're going to have some crossover. Then the podcast that's on the Mark Bernardin one that's on HBO afterward. Muschietti goes, "No, it's a mist. It's more like a fog. It's not that."
Yeah.
We thought about that. But that's a lot to drop on the last half an hour of an episode.
Yeah.
Like going, that would have been great to have giant monsters walking out. It doesn't flesh, but yeah, it would have been. That would have been good.
Yeah.
I want that.
Any other last things we got to say before we wrap up here? I'm trying to think.
I think this is my call to again. They were already greenlit for season 2 and 3, and they're talking about chapter 3 movie. I don't want that. Just give me my 9-hour chapter 1 and 2 master cut that has everything in it. Give me more Bill Hader.
Yeah. I think I agree. I want to keep going back. Like keep going backwards. Like I love that. Although I did see somewhere that Finn Wolfhard is attached to some future project with it. So
okay, I would, if he's gonna do those reshoots in the middle, I would love to give me that movie. Give me the movie where young Rich Tozer hangs out with Dick Halloran. I don't know. Just
yeah, I'd watch that too. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know if anyone knows outside of the people making the shows what his attachment is or what his involvement's going to be. But I don't know. I'm excited.
What that would fit in. Yeah, they make it work.
Yeah,
if they can make the because this shouldn't work. This should not work when I first, again, I'm admitting that I was wrong. When they first announced this like 3 years ago, I'm like going, well, why do it as a series? Just do it as a movie. There's not enough there to do it as an 8-hour thing. And I admit, again, on record, I'm always wrong. I'm almost always wrong, because this was like perfect. This is also like I have to keep HBO subscription at least until the Blu-ray comes out in a few months. Just because I want to sit down and watch, some little kid run by.
Yeah.
I want that as a poster so bad.
Yeah. I think one of the last things I didn't mention, we mentioned Lily a couple times, but that actress was also incredible. I love the scene where she literally, I think this is the character that kind of goes through it the most in this show, because she loses all of her support. She ends up finding the dagger, and the dagger makes her go a little crazy, so she ends up pushing everyone away and is overly protective of this dagger. And the one person she has left is Mrs. Kirsch. And she goes to Mrs. Kirsch, finds out Mrs. Kirsch is feeding this demon because she thinks it's her dad. And there's just a scene where it's right afterwards. She just escapes Mrs. Kirsch's house. She's riding her bike, and she just lets out this like scream, and it's just like the most like what's the word, desperate scream. Like it's just like
a sad scream.
Yeah,
It's like,
and you just feel for it. It's like, oh my god, like I can't even imagine. Like, what do you do now? What do you just? Luckily, she has the one item that like will protect her from Pennywise. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to specifically call out that actress because she did amazing. Everyone in this was really good, though.
It was. They got, again, whoever's doing the casting should probably get more credit than they are, because this is whoever brought in the Muschietti trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
All these kids are great.
Yeah.
Like again, painfully so. When the kids all meet with, is it Ronnie on the fire escape to her apartment at the beginning of it, and I'm just like going, this it rings as true. You know? Oh, so good.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's. I mean, there's still a billion things to be said, but I think that's about all the time we got here.
One thing about this is we kind of do it in the order, but you do want to watch these chapter 1, chapter 2, and then Derry. You don't want to do chronological order in this one because it's intentional. Yeah. Like if you're watching Derry right now, and you haven't watched chapter 1 and 2. And you just ruined the whole thing by watching. You've watched everything because you haven't gotten to the end of it. Yeah. But I know that when we watched, I probably would not have gone. Well, no, actually, because you were watching this, we had finished it. You wanted to do this the January month, so we're going to go back and watch 1 and 2 again to get ready for this. I remember thinking, well, maybe it's going to be kind of out, but I still enjoyed the hell out of it because then it works both ways. Much like it works no matter what. It's just 3 very good iterations of a story.
Yeah, I think
somewhere in there, someone goes to the flea market, not the flea market, the antique store, and I guess it's supposed to be young Stephen King.
Yes, yeah.
I just read that and I go, I need to go watch that episode again, so to see if Charlotte, there's young Stephen King in the corner.
Yep. Yeah,
I got to find that.
I remember I saw that and I was like, oh, that's got to be Stephen King, that same character Stephen King's playing, because I think it's him, and I think Rose is like the shop owner. We should even mention Rose. Rose is the Native American.
Yeah.
She was great.
Oh, that whole play. Yeah, that was great.
I'm excited to see. I think we'll probably get more of her in the future seasons. A younger version of her, obviously. But I think that character has a lot to give because they kind of tease that she might have the shine, which is interesting because she sees the Native American ghost before Dick even sees her. Like in that moment, before
I think that's going to be the next season. It wouldn't be season 2. It'd be season 3. How many years apart? How old is she now? Well, she's a kid in that one, and she's older now. It's math. I don't do math.
Yeah. She was a kid in season 3. She'll be a kid, so she'll be like in her 20s, I imagine, or
so we'll go
30s.
Back to that. I can see that being a great thing.
Yeah. And I'm excited to cover it on this show when that finally comes out.
I guess it's 2027. It's supposed to be next year.
Oh wow, that's okay. That's not too
bad. This took longer because in the middle of shooting it, they had like a couple strikes, so it got spread out. This should have been out 2025 maybe. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to.
I think we're right about that because you can tell at a certain point the kids age a bit. They're like older versions. They feel like, or they look like. Anyways, yeah. I don't know what we're covering next week. We haven't really discussed it, but
it'll be a surprise to both of us.
Yeah, it's a surprise to us. We don't even know what we're covering next week.
We'll just turn it on and just small talk and talk about politics.
Let's just keep talking about this show. We'll do a part 2,
episode by episode. Really draw it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone on the comments? You want to send us a line saying what you guys thought? I'm curious. Do you think there should be more movies after this, or do more seasons of this? What's going to work better? They're probably going to do both, maybe.
Yeah, I imagine.
But is this something they can do? Yeah, as long as they're making money. Yeah.
But yeah, that is a good question. Also, leave a comment. We loved this. Was such a fun to do a full month of one franchise. If there's any other franchises that you guys want to see covered, like I would love to get some ideas going because
that'd be great.
yeah. And you can reach out to us in a number of different ways. Let's go through them. You can find us on all our social medias on the bottom there. We are. My brain just completely turned off there. Let me start over.
The deadlights. The deadlights.
Yeah. I felt like Rich trying to throw that rock. You can find us on all your. Oh my God! I can't. My brain. Take 3. You can find us on all your social media platforms on the bottom of the screen there. TDMMVI pod on all of those locations. Hit us up on TikTok. Or hopefully I'm going to try to put forth a little more effort to be more active on TikTok, get more clips up there. And you can also email us directly at tdmmvipod@gmail.com. I am always looking at that email. So yeah, if you write in, I'll definitely see it. And if you have something interesting to say, ideas, anything like that, we'd love to hear it. But yeah, until next week, I'm Jesse Spitzer.
And I'm Jared Lees.
And this has been Double Maybe View It. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.